Hello everyone, here I am in another video, and well, this video I'm actually doing it to finish this series of overcoming depression. And I decided to make this video because I want to make my last video venting here in this channel, because as I said in the previous video, I don't want to this channel be about me anymore. Of course, there will be times that I will be sharing some personal things, but it won't be the focus of this channel anymore. And I decided to make this video to finish this era and let you aware of what is like my life now, and say a goodbye to those who likes to follow my life and find a relatable content through this channel. Okay, so let's start with. This year has been a weird year to me because it's been completely different from the previous ones. A lot of things changed in my life this year. So I started college. Yeah, I'm studying business. I've mentioned this before here, and I don't know if I will finish this degree. I don't know if we say like that in English. I'm really sorry, but I'm thinking about using this year to try something new next year. So I've been always searching about the possibility of studying abroad, and for many times, for most of my life actually, I wanted it. I studied a lot. Um, to achieve it in some point of my life. So it's because you never know me in my teenage because I started this channel. I was 20. So because of that, I was already an adult. And back then, uh, I have given up on this dream at the time of my life. But when I was younger, my dream was to study in Columbia. Yeah, in New York. But I think I'm a bit dumb to study Columbia. I don't know, I've never tried to apply to Columbia, but since I wanted to study abroad, I tried my best to get the skills needed to apply to Columbia. And I tried my best, I tried everything I had possible to do that. So I learned a lot of things. Made I've done, I don't know, a lot of courses to have a, how can I say that, um a summary when the time to apply has come. And once I finished high school, my depression was in this peak. So because of that, I didn't have any will to be alive, and I didn't see any reason to try it. But once I started to get a bit better, I tried to contact my school to help me in this process, because the school has to send some documents uh, while you're applying, and my school haven't helped me. And this dream of studying, in the United States, they it wasn't a reality to me anymore. I've tried it for some years and I failed, so I decided not to try anymore unless I could done it without uh, the need of approaching my school to send these documents. And I even applied for some UK unis, and I got accepted in some of them, but I didn't have the money to go there, and I end up giving up because of that. And it was like my life was like this for like some years, and I suffered a lot because I really wanted to go. I won't deny. I really wanted to go, and this year I decided to give up on it and simply study here in Brazil, you know. And am studying in a good university. I like it so much, but I don't think that I choose the right uh how can I say that, the right subject. Let's say it this way. I'm studying business, and I think I should have choose economics, but I still can change my degree. I still can try something else. So what I'm thinking about is that for next year, I try to apply to UK again and use this 1 year that I've been studying business here in Brazil to kind of don't need to, because if I'm not wrong, you can correct me. In the UK, if you're a international student, you have to have 1 year, uh, you know, extra for you to learn about the subjects from the UK. It's something about their course. But if you have made 1 year of college in your country with a subject related to the one you apply into the UK, you can skip this year and only study 3 years. And I'm thinking about trying it next year again, and I will be preparing for it. So wish me luck. Wish me luck. By there, I think I may share with you the updates on Instagram. But till then, I'm still studying business here in Brazil. And I like as I said, I like too much my course. I love my classmates. We have an amazing group, and we're working together this semester. So I don't have anything to complain about. Also, this year I started therapy. It was a good thing. I've already made a video talking about therapy. I will let it linked. And I still haven't found a cure to my problems in therapy, but I'm still investing on it. So wish me luck. Maybe by time I can have a better result through therapy, but I still haven't found it. Also, this year I uh, I'm exercising a lot, so every single day I do 1 hour of in let me remember how we call it in English. In home cycling, I guess is what something like that. And I've been seeing a great change in my body, and I'm pretty satisfied with the results. So I will keep trying doing it. And well, and now I will get to the point that I want to achieve once I started to make this video. I cut ties with a lot of people in my life, and I'm still trying to understand if it is something good or not to my life. Because, well, as I said, uh, you haven't known me before pandemic or in pandemic when I was a teenager, and I was a badass teenager. I miss how I was like back in the days. And something that I always prioritized in my life was self respect and respect from the others. So I didn't allow anyone to disrespect me. And back then, people used to treat me better as they treat me now. They were more respectful and all, and I could limit the access people had to me back then and the way they treated me. But is since my depression got harder, I simply gave a fuck to anyone. So I didn't care so much about how people treated me. I didn't put any effort on achieving respect from other people once I got my depression. And this vacuum gave them space to disrespect me. And I allowed it. I allowed it because I didn't want it to waste energy on trying to achieve the respect of these people. And because of that, I got to a point in my life that people don't respect me anymore. And it started to be a problem to me because it started to affect me and my self esteem a lot because I've noticed that everyone around me, starting with my family, but even friends, they don't respect me. They simply don't respect me. They think that they can treat me the way they want, and I have to accept it without complaining. And guys, this is not good because how could I explain it? Let me just calm down a bit. Uh, it got to a point that many interactions I had with with my family, with my friends, people around me in general, I end up leaving the conversations feeling like something bad inside me. I every time I interact with them, I end up being sad all of a sudden, and I couldn't understand why I was feeling that way, because for me, I got used to being treated like that, So I felt bad about being treated like that, but I couldn't understand where this feeling were coming from. And then I understood it's because I was being disrespected and I was allowing people to treat me that way, And it was, to be honest, everyone, because I don't have a large circle around me, people around me, and I'm specifically talking about people who I see physically, people who actually it's around me. And I was feeling this sadness of being be how could I say that, bad treated by them, and I couldn't understand why I was feeling that way, And I was I got to a point this year that I got tired of it. I got tired of it. I got tired of feeling bad after every interaction I had with them. And also I got to the conclusion that I was the one who allowed it, because I was always trying to avoid discussion, trying to avoid a fight, that it got to a point that I was betraying myself. I was betraying myself. I was always trying to avoid fights, avoid fights. That in the end of the day, I was the one who was suffering, because when you're avoiding fight with someone who you know I will rephrase it. I will rephrase it. If you're fighting with someone who's a narcissist, if you let this person have the last word, in their minds they will understand that they won and they're under them. And I live around many people like that. Many people around me, they're exactly like that. They want to have the last word, and they think that once they get the last word, they won this fight, and you owns them respect it, and they won't respect you because they will put in you in a position that you always have to be silent once they're speaking. You got what I mean? So most part of people around me, they're like this. And you can say, but you should avoid these people. You should ignore these people. You shouldn't live with these people. But guys, it's not easy. It's not easy when these people is your family. And I'm still living with these people. I cannot avoid them. And you can say, but you have to leave. I've already heard that a lot. But guys, I cannot, sleep and wake up someday with the amount of money I need to move. There's no magic for me to do that. So what can I do now is do not give these people access to my life and try to impose respect in this toxic environment. And another thing that I have to specify is because here on the internet, we think that people, not only on the internet, we human beings relate that. I am like that as well. We think that people, we divide people in mean and good, bad and good, and we have to understand that people are more complex than that. uh, Even though these people they treat me in a bad way, they don't treat me bad every single time. There are times that they are treating me good. There are times that they are kind. They're not mean all the time. I think the problem in this toxic relationship is that they never apologize. They never recognize that they are hurting me, and they keep acting like this. Even though when I try to complain about it, they do not understand. And they think that I am inventing things, that I am creating a fuss that doesn't exist. But it does. So it's really hard for me to actually completely cut ties with them because, as I said, things are not black and white. People are not black and white. They are complex. So it's not like they're every single day treating me bad and screaming at me and all. No, it happens sometimes, but these few times, once we are accumulating it, it goes toxic. And since I'm the one who learned to be silent and accept it, uh, I end up suffering and receiving all the impact of this toxic behavior, you know, and it actually, especially when you're passing through a depression, it's really hard because sometimes when the people treat me this way, I want to end up with my life because I feel like I'm, you know, how can I say that? Um, Not lost, but I'm stuck in this place, you know? So, what I decided to do this year to, you know, try to improve a bit my condition, and as I said, I still haven't found out if it was a good or bad decision, um, was to cut ties with some people and do not allow this person to have access to my life and live my life as this person is not part of it, you know? And well, some of them is my ex best friend. I've made a video about it. You can watch it as well. I've made two videos about it actually, where I explain all the reasons why I decided, but she was not the only one. I've done it to other people as well. My sister. I cut ties with my sister. And it's not easy because we literally share the room. But seems like we we do not exist to each other, you know? And I tried to bring this to therapy, and I decided to remain the relationship and all, but she disrespects me in a way that is really mean. I've said that my sister, she's like a mean girl to me, and you have no idea. And I started to reach out my parents and talk about it because, well, we are both daughters of them. And they say that I am childish and I'm creating things in my life. Actually, my mom literally said to me that I'm an useful person who is always trying to find conflicts where there's no conflicts. And basically that's it. There's also another person in your life that is also disrespect to me, and I don't talk to this person anymore, and that's it. So if you see my best friend, all the this um saga about my best friend, you have to understand that she was not the only one that I decided to cut ties with this year, But on the other hand, I also I'm investing on other friendships I have this year as much as I can do. Another person as well that I cut ties with was a friend that I had. We got friends back in 2024, and we got pretty close as well. We talked a lot every single day. He was a nice guy. It was a male friend, and eventually I um decided that I didn't want it to be his friend anymore. And he was even following me on my Instagram account. Not my personal one because I have two. You will not find the other one I have. But the one that is linked to this profile. And he was following me there, and it was pretty sad because I was posting a lot. I was posting reels. I was posting um posts in general, stories, and he saw everything, but he never liked. He never interacted with any of my publications, you know. And he was always there in my account, watching my stories, watching my reels, but he didn't like. He didn't comment, and all. And I was like, why you keep following me? Why are you following me if you don't interact to anything? You know, it was something that my ex best friend she did as well. She followed me on that Instagram account. She followed me on TikTok, but she never liked anything I posted. Never liked anything. She never commented, you know. Only in the first posts she did it, but all of a sudden she was like, "No, your posts, your TikToks are not appearing to me, so I don't interact because I don't see them." And I was like, okay, fine, I can understand. But it was like never. So my sister, she follows me on the Instagram. Oh no, not on this Instagram, but she follows me on TikTok, and she never liked anything I post. Never, never. So you can see that why you following me then, if you don't like me. And though, so I was like, if I was a famous content creator, I could understand it. I wouldn't even care. But I'm still starting, so a like can help a lot. A comment can help a lot when you're starting to create content. So I started to see like why they never support me on everything I'm trying, you know? The same way I am an English teacher, and once my best friend she decided that she wanted to learn English. She didn't want to have classes with me. She never approached me to be like, how much what is like, oh my God, how much your classes cost. She never wanted to learn English with me. And it could be a support. I wouldn't even charge her to have classes with me. I would do it for free, you know. But it's something that I was started to wonder why these people they say they're my friends and all, if in the end of the day they never support me. you know I'm never a option to them when it comes to to have at least a bit of support, because they're my friends and all. And I think that the only people that sometimes, and that is not even every time, that it still supports me a bit are my parents. My siblings, they don't. My friends, they don't. And I started to be a bit sad about it. You know, I will not say too much about my parents because they don't even know I create content. I decided not to talk about it with them because it's not even about my father. My father is actually pretty supportive when it comes to me, and it's actually pretty cute. But my mom, she's not. So because of that, I decided don't tell them that I'm creating content for like 2 years. And all, not because I think they wouldn't support me, but they are a bit worried about creating content, and they're totally right. I can actually understand the reasons because exposing yourself on the internet is actually pretty dangerous. I've been extremely harmed here on the internet, so I can understand where this worry comes from, and I totally understand and respect this. But I I'm trying something. I tried to build my career here on the internet, so even though I know it's dangerous, it like I have to try. I have to try something. So because of that, I decided don't tell them because I know that they would be extremely worried and they would end up unmotivating me to keep creating content, you know. And also, when I started to create content, I didn't tell anyone in my environment that I was doing that. I only told my closest friends that were like literally my best friend and this friend that that I started this friendship in 2024. They were the only people who knew about it, and they never supported me. you know so there are many people around me that I don't even be mad about and not supporting me, because they don't know I'm creating content, or I never shared with them my channel or my profile. So I do not be angry at them, because I was the one who didn't open this door. So I don't they're not in the fault, but the people who knew about it, and never supported me, never wanted to be part of it. I was angry about it, I will not deny. you know so as I said, this year was a year that I'm actually making it clean in my personal life. you know I'm removing all the things that make me stuck in life, and hopefully opening spaces for new people. you know right now I don't have a best friend, for example, but I want to have a new best friend. But I still haven't met someone that I feel this calm, this confident to actually start a new friendship that I would like to invest on, and be open and be vulnerable with this person, you know. But well, if God is hearing to my prayers, maybe someday I will meet this person. And this will be the next video that I will record tomorrow and post on Thursday. Um, I Not on Thursday, on Tuesday. I I think that no man will love a woman as a female best friend. So that's why I'm not actually um how can I say that? Waiting for a boyfriend right now, because I know that the love of a man and a woman in a marriage is beautiful. And if you found the right person, this guy will be a rock to you, you know? But I still think that it's not enough in your life to only have a relationship with a guy. We have to have friends, especially same sex friends, because these people, in the end of the day, they will understand all the struggles you had to deal in your life, because in the end of the day, they are human as well. So I'm more excited to find a new best friend than actually a boyfriend. But hopefully, I would find both next year. Who knows? Um, I'm not planning on this, but I'm counting a luck right now. Um, so I think that it's all a process of this depression series. So I am ending it in this video. I still haven't healed from depression. I still have depression, and I'm not treating it the way I should. But I am telling you through this video that it will be the last video I'll be talking about myself on, unfortunately, because I don't want to keep talking about myself. I'm tired of it, because I don't want to be venting on the internet anymore. I don't want it anymore. I want to, as I said, find people who will be relying on and counting on to be sharing those things. And I don't want to keep venting on the internet. I want this channel to be more professional, you know, and do not be about myself and my life, unless it's something really interesting, like a international travel. And no, it would be a good thing, but not exactly about my personal life. So it's a goodbye for you. I updated you about my life briefly, not briefly because it's here 30 minutes, but I hope you enjoyed it and keep following me, because I'm trying to bring new things and actually exciting things to this channel, you know? So, goodbye. but not forever because on Tuesday I'm back again with new topics, new themes that will be much more interesting and nice than my personal life because my personal life is extremely boring, you know. So thank you so much for everyone who has been supporting me in this 2 years, not exactly full 2 years, but almost 2 years that I've been creating content here on this channel. And I'm excited to make new videos for you, and they will be much better than this one, you know. So wish me luck on my journey to overcome depression, to achieve my dreams, and all. And if you want to know more about my daily life, follow me on the Instagram because there I'll be probably sharing a bit on the stories. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video and see you in the next one. Bye.